This problem looks like it's got a lot going on with it, but it's actually a pretty straightforward question. They have a list of the year and the population in millions listed out. So if I look at my graph here, the year, in this case, is my input. That's the T. Just think of it as input. And the P, the population, is my output. So it's kind of acting like a Y, but it's really a P, and my T is acting like an X. So I can think of these in terms of coordinates, XY coordinates. My year, I'm specifically looking at 1800. So I go back up to my chart. 1800, the population was 5.3. So 1800, 5.3. Now I know it says millions, but I'm not going to put in all those zeros because my label already has the word millions in it. So I'll just use that as my unit label at the end. My other year is the year 2000, and the population was 281.4 million. So when I do my formula, and again, I can think of it as T's and P's or X's and Y's, doesn't really matter. Change in my output over the change in my input. My Y values represent population in millions per, and then the X's represent year. So when I plug into my formula, I'm going to use my 281.4 minus the 5.3, and this is just using the slope formula, over 2000 minus 1800. So I have 276.1 over 200. Do the division, and it comes up about, and they want me to round to 2 decimal places. So 1.38, use rules of rounding if necessary. And then the unit label is millions of people per year. If you've noticed, every time I do an average rate of change, the unit label is written as a fraction because that's slope. Slope is a fraction. So my unit label should also be a fraction, something per, and then some unit label of time. All right, so write a sentence interpreting what this rate of change means. All right, so I'm going to start out with, again, on average, because it doesn't happen every year, but just sort of an on average, this is what we can expect. There was an increase. Well, let's just get the years here first. On average, between the years 1800 to 2000, our population increased. And I use the word increase now as opposed to decrease. Increase because it's positive by 1.38 million people per year, or each year. And that's why we put on the word on average. It wasn't exactly 1.38 million each year, but on average it was about 1.38 million per year. And I have to give these dates as well, because between different dates we may have a different increase in population.